Marvel released the first trailer for Captain America 4. Inside Out 2 becomes the third highest grossing animated film of all time. We also got new trailers for F1, Trap, and Severance. Let's get into this week's movie news.
What's up, movie friends? Welcome back to Raiders of the Lost Podcast and the weekly episode of Movie News where we go through all of the industry news from trailers, casting announcements, and very cool stories. We saw all the articles, we watched the trailers, so sit back, relax, and find out what's happening in the world of film and television. Let's go out with the box office, man. How'd it go?
It was pretty solid this weekend. We've had 3 weekends in a row that have been really impressive. Despicable Me 4 is still the king of the box office 2 weeks in a row now. It's second weekend. It pulled in $43 million domestic. It is just padding those stats.
Don't mess with Gru.
Don't mess with animated films this year. Goodness. So a massive second weekend for Despicable Me. Inside Out 2 crosses over to become the third highest grossing animated film of all time, passing Frozen.
Wow.
With an extra $22 million domestically this weekend. And its third weekend out or fourth weekend out?
Fourth weekend.
It's been out for forever. And this is not only the third highest animated film of all time, gross-wise, but also Pixar's highest grossing film of all time. This is not adjusted for inflation. So, when you talk about all-time grosses, you sort of have to talk about that, especially, if a movie came out in 1995, like Toy Story, compared to 2024. Inflation's a lot different, but still a massive, massive success. At some point, we're going to have to be like $1 billion movie isn't what it used to be. So, maybe in 25
They sold 50 tickets.
In like 20 years, we'll get there, but inflation is important to talk about, I think, always when talking about the highest ever.
Yeah.
But it's still massively, massively impressive.
And I mean, it's really great for the studio. It's great for theaters. And it comes at a time where this spring people were very worried about the future of the industry. And it's clearly rebounding. Like we said, it's going to be a very good summer. And
we said calm down.
Yeah.
Tell everyone chill out. The box office, it's healthy. They're coming back.
We're doing great.
There's some movies out that people didn't want to see.
And there was a huge surprise this weekend. Longlegs debuted with $16 to $20 million. The numbers aren't quite out yet, but it is Neon's best opening film. Opening for a film. Now, keep in mind, they distributed Parasite, which ended up making about $240 million. I don't see Longlegs doing that, obviously, but Longlegs was a huge surprise. Their biggest opening weekend hit. It's looking like it's poised to hopefully make about $100 million globally with this start, with this international release. And this is just great news for the horror fans. Longlegs was good. We enjoyed it. And it's just cool to see a studio like Neon, which makes very niche films, and they distribute films that the big studios don't really want to. They make great choices with their catalog, and I'm happy to see them have a win at the box office.
Their last biggest opening was Immaculate earlier this year with just over $5 million. It won't do Parasite numbers. Parasite was a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Phenomenon. It was incredible. Next up, we have A Quiet Place Day 1 in fourth place at $12 million. Another very successful horror film this year. This has been a hit for the studios and
closing in on $200 million right now.
Massive. 3 weeks in a row, 3 weekends. Really impressive. Then we had another film's opening, a bad start for Fly Me to the Moon, starring Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson. This was just not it. Pretty big budget, opened to $10 million at the domestic box office. Just barely made the top 5 in its opening weekend. Not good news.
I like the concept for the movie. It's kind of like a 60s romantic film. Set in NASA, two people who are opposites, they have a romance, and they were marketing it. It felt like a 60s, 50s romance film, like an Audrey Hepburn movie. So I think it's cool they made this movie, but it was made with a really big price tag because apparently, from what I heard from people who have seen the film, they actually do show the moon landing. So that cost probably $50 million just to do all the visual effects and special effects of that.
You mean they showed filming the moon landing?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, the way you worded it, I thought you meant like they just showed what they shot. NASA
No.
shot.
Like they actually show the entire like the moon landing sequence and like how it really happened. So a lot of money went into that part of it. They probably would have been wiser to keep it very small in scale and keep it at NASA and not go to the actual moon landing. That's probably what really ballooned the budget. Obviously, high price tags for these two stars, but I think this film. I'm not expecting a film like this to make that kind of money anymore.
What was First Man's box office?
First Man's box office was like $40 million. something like that.
Something about moon movies.
Outside of Interstellar, space movies don't do well. Ad Astra was a big bomb.
First Man made 100 mil.
100 mil, okay.
So that was actually probably made its money back as a $60 million budget. Maybe it's something about movies specifically with the moon that people aren't particularly interested in.
It's a very old kind of movie. That's the thing, tonally, and what it is. And so I think that modern audiences clearly weren't gravitating towards it.
I forgot it was coming out.
Yeah.
I remember seeing trailers like a month ago and talking about it, but
Yeah.
I totally forgot that this was a movie being released in theaters.
I thought it was a nice looking movie, but
it looks fine.
It looks nice.
charming.
But I wasn't expecting it to make any money.
It's about if the moon landing was fake, if you believe in the fake moon landing. Well, no,
They were
landing,
preparing-
They preparing in case the footage didn't come back or
in
the
case
mission
they
failed.
they were preparing a marketing campaign.
That's right.
So it was a backup plan.
Plan B.
So,
But
but
people believe they used.
yeah, I'm not surprised it didn't do that well. But I mean, it is what it is. All right, let's get into. Before we get into the trailers, we got a ton of new trailers. We got 9 major trailers to talk about this week.
9 trailers!
This is the most ever, I think.
And one of the most anticipated people have been dying to see with Captain America.
But first, let's talk about this really cool thing we have going on with the podcast. We've teamed up with Trova Trip. Now, this is a company that facilitates group vacations with creators and their fans and listeners. So we're actually asking people to fill out a small survey on the link in our bio page on our Instagram. Fill out that survey if you'd like to go on a vacation with us. We can go on trips like a huge backpacking in Iceland trip. We can go eat and drink in the Mediterranean like in Greece. And what this company does is they set up and facilitate huge itineraries for groups of up to 20 people to enjoy like a week-long or a 5-day-long vacation with creators like us. And so we're definitely down for this. What we need is 100 people to fill out this small survey, and all it does is it asks you, where would you like to take a vacation? How old are you? How much are you looking to spend on a vacation?
Who would you rather share a room with, Anthony or James?
That's pretty much it. It's just like a few questions about what you're looking for in a trip. And then if we get 100 people to fill out this survey, we can move forward and pick out a trip to go on with a bunch of you.
And we can go on a fucking trip.
Yeah, we can go to fucking
That'd be so cool.
We could eat and drink in Greece for 5 days, just like
How cool would that be?
That would be amazing.
That would be. That's I think my number one is Greece.
So all you gotta do is go on our Instagram page, Raiders of the Lost Podcast, follow the link in our bio, and click that survey button. Fill out that short survey, so we can know. It also helps us understand like what the people who are filling out the survey, where would they like to go most? So,
What their budgets are,
yeah, exactly.
everything like that.
So let us know if you're interested. Hit that link and maybe we can go to Greece with you.
Let's do it, everybody. All right, let's get into the trailers. Captain America: Brave New World. Captain America 4 finally dropped a trailer from Marvel, and I gotta say, I kind of enjoyed this trailer.
It was good.
I kind of enjoyed this trailer. I am very skeptical, obviously, because of
64 reshoots.
of 64 reshoots in the last 4 years of the MCU. However, you know, Deadpool and Wolverine looks amazing. And then I saw this trailer. I was like, I hate how much I kind of enjoy this trailer and how good this movie looks because I want Marvel to be back. Everyone wants Marvel to be back. And they could be back. It looks pretty interesting. And I got pretty good hopes for this. I'm being optimistic.
Yeah, I don't hate that I like this trailer. I think that Marvel has the potential to be great. It always does have that potential. And I think that's why when they misfire, it disappoints people so much.
When they misfire 6 times in a row,
Yeah.
it disappoints people.
And so, but they can make great, incredible spectacle escapism films that huge amounts of people can enjoy. And there's really something really special about that. I think this trailer looks really good, and it looks like, you know, the kind of Marvel trailers that were coming out 8 years ago. It looks like they used a lot of inspiration from Winter Soldier. It has a great serious tone, a great political tone. We got Harrison Ford fucking in this movie. And
Harrison Ford fucking?
Yeah, he's fucking big time. Fucking Harrison Ford in this movie.
I must have missed that.
As Red Hulk he is.
I must have missed that shot.
And Red Hulk is in this. We got 2 shots of Red Hulk. And I think this is Marvel has been listening to fans and changing the trajectory of how they've been approaching the films recently. And the thing is, I actually turned off Falcon and the Winter Soldier after, I think, 2 episodes.
Me too, yeah.
Because I did not like the fact that Sam because Endgame ended so well with Steve passing on the mantle to Sam, giving him the shield. And I was like, oh man, this is gonna be awesome. Sam's gonna be new Captain America. It's gonna be awesome. And then the TV show starts, and he's like, I don't want it, and rejects it. And I was like, it totally threw me off. And I was like, I don't want to watch this. And then I'm sure I didn't watch the show, but obviously he becomes Captain America by the end of the show. But I didn't want that. They turned it into like the new reboot origin story they do nowadays, where the character becomes the character at the end of the story. This looks like where it should have left off from Endgame, honestly. And so I'm very excited to see Mackie, to see Harrison Ford, Giancarlo Esposito. It looks like some cool taut action. A couple of shots of big spectacle CGI, but they're saving a ton, I'm sure. So I think this is a really promising look at the new film.
When Sam broke the sound barrier, that's the coolest shot in the trailer. I really think that they should give Sam the serum. I think they should give him the super serum. I think it'd make a lot more sense for the character, especially for the things that he's doing. Because Sam's just a human. Of course, Iron Man, he's just a human, but Iron Man has the most advanced technology.
He's always in the suit.
He's always in the suit when he's fighting. And it's not that Sam's not always in his sort of half suit or his flying suit, but I think that if I was them in this movie, I would give him the super serum.
Yeah.
I think it's just better for the character of Captain America. But I kind of enjoyed this trailer.
Good looking trailer.
Another trailer I liked was the F1 trailer, which dropped on Sunday last week after we posted our episode, but we told you all that it was coming out. This trailer looks excellent. I've never seen anything quite like it. The footage they captured, obviously, Kosinski doing Top Gun Maverick, putting cameras in the cockpits. He did obviously the same thing, putting cameras inside and all around the cars of these F1 vehicles.
Fun fact, they actually put a camera on an actual car during a real race.
It looks incredible.
So some of the footage is from an actual real race in real life.
This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It looks like unlike anything I've ever seen from a racing movie before. I saw that there was sort of underwhelming reactions to the trailer. And I think people, again, we did a Gladiator episode that's coming out tomorrow. I'm like, what more do you guys want? Like, it's a racing movie. Like, what do you want? People are like, this is it for $300 million. Like, what do you want? They're at F1 at real races filming.
They're doing it for real.
It's expensive.
They're not renting a photo studio in L.A.
like,
for $100
Jesus
an hour.
Fucking Christ. They're not on go-karts. They're going 280 miles per hour. What more do you people want?
Also, car talk can be very, very mean. And I saw a lot of car talkers nitpicking, like the steering wheel and different parts about the car. So I think that that's a hard fan base to satisfy too, because we've encountered them when we've made like driving clips or episodes, and they come out when we get something wrong.
Yeah,
they're very critical of things they see. The gearheads and the car talkers, they can be very critical. I saw a bunch of them in comments about being critical about what they saw.
It's a movie.
How about you just like, oh, cool, they made an F1 movie, guys.
It's a movie. Everyone needs to chill out.
You guys realize that Brad Pitt's not a real race car driver, right?
Everyone, it's a movie.
I think it looks awesome. I'm really excited, and I mean, I'm sure seeing that on IMAX. By the way, it was just confirmed Hans Zimmer is scoring the film. So it's gonna be fucking epic. It's gonna be great. He did an awesome one of my favorite contemporary scores of his outside of franchises is Rush, which is a really fun score that he did with Ron Howard's racing film.
It's like back to his roots in the 90s.
Yeah, the guitar riffs and it's very fun. So he's gonna do something fucking crazy with this. I can't wait to hear it.
The best trailer of the week, I think, though, is clearly Gladiator 2. We finally got a trailer for Gladiator 2, and Anthony and I did an entire episode dropping tomorrow.
Check it out.
Breaking down the trailer in depth, as well as everything we know about Gladiator 2, who's behind the scenes, who wrote it, cinematography, what our theories are. We're sort of breaking down shot by shot, scene by scene of the trailer, putting our 2 cents into it, what it means to the first film. Why is Lucius in the gladiatorial arena? All this great stuff.
Why doesn't Lucius remember his mom?
Yeah, why?
We explained why.
Yeah, we explained why the line says, "I never knew a mother or a father." Like we explained that in the trailer, in the episode tomorrow, breaking down Denzel's character, Pedro Pascal's character, Connie Nielsen's back, Joseph Quinn and Fred Hetchinger as co-emperors. This trailer looks amazing. We have rhinoceroses, we have armada battles inside the Colosseum with sharks, as well as armada battles sieging a city from the sea, from the Mediterranean Sea, probably. This movie looks massive in scale and scope, insane production value, but of course everyone's upset about the music from Kanye and Jay-Z, which doesn't come in until a minute and a half of the trailer, and then it starts. Anthony and I, we chilled everybody out. So tune into our episode tomorrow on Gladiator. That's the first thing we talked about was the music choice. Now everyone needs to relax because in 2000, when the Super Bowl was happening, there was a trailer for Gladiator that came out, and guess what they did? They used a Kid Rock song.
Bow with the ball, the bang, diggy, diggy.
Diggy said the boogie said, "I'll chop the boogie." In a Gladiator trailer.
That played during the trailer.
With clips of football highlights. So everyone chill the fuck out.
They knew what they were doing when they were marketing that
Chill
film.
out. Kid Rock in a Gladiator trailer. The comments, there's no rap in ancient Rome. Shut the fuck up. It's 2024, guys.
You guys know that it's a movie, right?
It's a movie.
It's not real life.
There's going to be another trailer.
It's not real. It's a movie. It's no rap
Guys,
music in ancient Rome.
Relax.
Oh my
It's
God.
just a trailer.
Oh man.
Speaking of trailers,
There's a great trailer. So when we saw Longlegs, they debuted a new trailer for Trap. M. Night Shyamalan's film starring Jake, what's his name? Josh Hartnett. I almost said Jake
hey,
Gyllenhaal.
Anthony, how could you do that to Josh?
Hey,
We're
I
in
love
the
Josh.
Josh-a-sance. He's about to blow up.
Now, this trailer revealed a lot more, but without giving too much away. The first one was definitely just a very small teaser trailer. This one showed that he's going to be fighting back. He's trapped in the arena with 300,000 fans of the pop star, and there's 300 cops around the building and looking throughout the building.
Hey, it's like
Looking
50,000 fans.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
300,000. That's
Sorry, that's what the poster
that's
says.
3 times Wimbledon.
That's the marketing.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's a big stadium. Jesus Christ.
I think it just sounds cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Maybe it said 30,000.
300. Yeah, it's probably 30,000. Like 300,000.
They're at Wembley.
Wembley's 100.
Okay, so anyways, however many fans there are. No, it didn't show. All it showed in the first trailer was him, evading and then learning more about what's happening. In this trailer, it showed he's fighting back and he's causing chaos and he's causing mayhem to distract and get the scent off of him. And there's Shyamalan in company with this trailer, they set up some crazy stuff that they just showed a tease of him doing this and him doing that, him doing this. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to see all these things actually play out. It's going to be insane.
They put a bottle of oil inside a fry machine, I
Yeah.
believe, and then he pushed some girl downstairs. And also with this trailer, which I'm sure will be released online this week probably, but in theaters was a really cool watch. Anthony and I turned to each other, we're like, that's a fucking sick trailer. They did some really cool splicing and editing sort of with bars and black bars that were getting thinner and thinner and thinner. It
Yeah.
looked really excellent, sort of like he was in a cage or something like that, you know what I mean? But his cage is opening up and he's getting let loose. That's how
I like that graphic.
That's how
Yeah.
I interpreted it, from the opening of like black bars being opened up until we were in regular screen. But the trailer looked awesome. It
looks like a lot of fun.
Another new trailer that we saw in theaters was the Cannes Palme d'Or winner for Anora from Sean Baker, starring Mikey Madison. This movie was a hit at Cannes. It's expected to be an Oscar contender this year coming up. So expected trailer, I believe, will be dropping online this week in case you don't see it in theaters. It looks really incredible. It looks very romantic and also hysterical.
Yeah, it looks like his funniest movie yet. And I can't wait. It looks like a really fun concept. And I love his style of filmmaking.
Yeah, Mikey Madison plays a sex worker who a Russian sort of playboy falls in love with and pays her to date him, and then they eventually get married. However, the Russian mob basically comes to make the marriage fraudulent, but she wants to stay in the marriage. And it looks really interesting and excellent. Sean Baker's a really terrific director that a lot of people have probably been sleeping on for the last several years, but he's phenomenal. The Florida Project's one of the best movies of the last 10 years from A24.
The two guys sitting next to me in the theater, when the trailer finished, they said to themselves, Sean Baker makes another questionable movie. I was like, get the fuck out of here. You make a fucking movie.
America, man.
You make a fucking movie.
God forbid you make a controversial film.
Holy shit.
Questionable
Dude,
film.
grow the fuck up. Not everything has to sit into your cookie cutter life, bro.
A questionable movie. What a
Get the fuck out of here,
It's a
man.
shitty thing to say.
Oh my God. Now there's another trailer that I was really excited for. Another film that was a hit at Cannes. It didn't win anything, but it was actually the biggest sale at Cannes this past year, with a huge price tag.
It won screenplay again.
Oh, one screenplay.
Yeah.
Thank you. The Substance, which is a new body horror film starring Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley.
There you go.
And then Demi Moore and Dennis Quaid as well. Demi Moore plays an aging starlet who becomes obsessed with what looks to be a young woman, and I'm guessing from the trailer she wants that woman's body. She wants the way she looks, so she's gonna come up with some way of maybe making that woman's body her own body. That's what I'm guessing.
Is X?
Huh?
Is this X?
X. Yeah, legit.
Pearl?
But it looks awesome, and it looked really cool. I love body horror. Outside of Cronenberg, we don't get too much nowadays, and it looks really exciting. And they didn't show it in the trailer, but there was an image they released at Cannes that was just like full on Cronenberg style with the body horror.
Hell yeah.
And I can't wait, and it looks fantastic. I think it looks really fun.
Very surreal.
Yeah.
There's a trailer that made me tear up coming out.
Oh my God.
This movie from A24 starring Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield called We Live in Time. And I didn't expect it to go in the direction that it went in when I was watching the trailer. I'm like, oh, cool, romance film with Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. So what happens is Florence Pugh's character hits Andrew Garfield with her car, and then they're in the hospital together, and that's how they meet.
Meet cute
After almost killing somebody, and then they start dating, and they fall in love.
I'd date Florence Pugh after she hit me with her car too.
And then I would too. I'd be like, oh, hey, it's okay. You can buy me a drink.
Oh no, don't worry about it.
Your arm is backwards. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Can I get your number, please?
So do you like movies?
You're so pretty. And they have a child, and it seems like a beautiful romantic film until she, what looks like, gets cancer. She's also a chef competing on competitions.
Iron Chef!
And it looked really tragic and shows the emotional journey of a family going through cancer together and how tragic and hard it is on everyone involved. And my gosh, it looks so sad. One of the scenes that's prominent in the trailer is they're clearly about to tell their daughter, that she has cancer, but they're trying to do it in like the most positive, light way with like an ice cream sundae and a diner and being very cute. But man, it got sad real quick, and I can't wait to see this movie because I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to cry.
From the director of Brooklyn,
which is a really good movie. Looks really good.
All right, next up we got a sequel to a Netflix hit that I was not expecting them to make a sequel to, and that's The Platform. The Platform 2 comes out soon on Netflix. The trailer is quite different from the first film. This looks like it's going to be very action-packed and have a really big cast. The first film really followed mainly one character going through the platform up and down the levels. This one looks like it's going to be the start of a rebellion, and it looks like a bunch of members are banding together to fight back against the structural system of the platform. So it looks definitely like a bigger, action-packed movie. I wasn't expecting a sequel to this film, but it was a huge hit, so I'm sure Netflix was like, please make another one, please.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Gotta get those streams. And another trailer we got this week was another one from MCU, Agatha All Along, which I heard that, they had like 7 title changes, and that this is the one they landed on.
I thought Agatha Coven of Darkness was like a cool name.
I guess people are wondering if it was a joke all along that it was Agatha all along. Like, get it? It was Agatha all along, just like in WandaVision. Mm-hmm. It was Agatha all along. Like, this was the actual title the whole time. They're just messing with people.
Oh,
I believe that's the theory.
I honestly don't like the title because it seems like they're just like coaxing on the back of the hit song. And it really doesn't make sense for what this show looks like it's going to be.
It's an IP-driven corporate studio.
I think Agatha Coven of Darkness sounds sick.
Does that sound pretty cool?
But Agatha All Along, it's just going for the click.
It looks all right. So Agatha, she forgets she's a witch because she was duped by Wanda and in her facade, and now she has to remember she's a witch and get her powers back. And
yeah, Wanda took her powers away.
I don't know. Are we turning villains into heroes again? I don't know.
Of course they are.
Yeah,
that's what they do, man.
That's what they do.
But I think from what I've seen and heard, Agatha has something to do with the Fantastic Four in comics, so it might tie to the Fantastic Four film.
Yeah, this is a show that had massive reshoots as well, so I'm very skeptical as well.
Okay. But Audrey Platt's in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's in it.
That's right. Yeah. It looks all right. I'm not gonna watch it. I don't watch MCU TV shows really anymore.
Me neither.
Yeah. But I'm gonna watch Captain America 4.
Looks great.
Speaking of streaming, we put together a list I thought it would be interesting to talk about of the top streaming movies and series this past week.
Really great job. I like this.
Shut up. All right, for movies, Hitman is still the most streamed movie on television right now with 1.06 billion minutes watched. Inside Out is second place on Disney Plus with 613 million minutes watched. Under Paris is third place on Netflix with 480 million minutes watched. Wonder, 430 million minutes watched. And then Home Also, Netflix, 319 million minutes watched. Netflix has 1, 2, 3, 4 of the top 5 this week, so it's still a Goliath in streaming. And in terms of series, they are way above the rest. Bridgerton is 3.5 billion minutes watched this past week. The Boys in second place for Amazon with 1.2 billion minutes watched. Sweet Tooth in third place, 971 million minutes watched. Perfect Match, 800 million minutes watched. And then Evil on Netflix and Paramount Plus for 450 million minutes watched. Now, the way they actually determine how many views it is they divide the number of minutes watched by the runtime of whatever the movie or show is. And that's what they use as for number of views.
All right.
Yeah.
A lot of people watch Bridgerton. Holy shit.
Dude, Bridgerton's fucking massive. It's huge.
I had no idea.
Yeah, man. It's fucking nothing can even compete with Bridgerton numbers.
Well,
James is like, we gotta do a Bridgerton episode.
I know. I mean, we probably should. I've never seen it, but how many episodes are there? A lot.
It's the regular season has like 4 seasons. Then there's 2 spin-offs. There's a new spin-off happening right now, which is what people are watching.
I ain't got time for that.
Yeah,
Never mind.
exactly.
I ain't got time for
So
that.
it's 3 different shows to watch.
But what I do have time for is when Superman comes out to see that. And we got some news. An official logo has been revealed by James Gunn for Superman. Pretty cool.
It's an S. It looks cool.
But
I like it.
Some really awesome news. Shrek 5, which we talked about recently, probably happening from Eddie Murphy, is officially going to happen. And DreamWorks released a poster that says, Theaters, July 1st, 2026, for the release of Shrek 5. Everyone's coming back. Eddie Murphy, Mike Myers, and Cameron Diaz.
2 years. Wow.
Other animated films also releasing in 2026 include Frozen 3, Toy Story 5, Paw Patrol 3, The Cat in the Hat, Super Mario Bros. 2, Aang, The Last Airbender, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
I think Cat in the Hat works as an animated film really well.
Yeah. 2026 is going to be massive for animation.
That's all in 2026. Wow.
right now, yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, those are all going to destroy, honestly, every one of them. And Aang, The Last Airbender theatrical release, that's very cool. For fans of that show, I'm sure they're very excited. I'm also very excited for Severance. Season 2 dropped the trailer as well as confirmed a release date of January 17th, 2025 for the hit Apple TV show. Maybe we're going to finally find out what the hell is going on.
Yeah, I watched the trailer. It's a teaser.
Yeah.
It's very
Sizzle.
short, and there's no answers in it at all, but just shots from the season, basically. Everyone's back.
I haven't been this curious about a show to like reveal what it's all about since Lost. Like, I am just dying to know what it's all about.
I swear to God, if they don't give us some answers, I'm not watching season 3.
They're not going to give us all the answers.
I need something, though.
They'll give us something.
I need something.
They'll give us something.
We got something secretly from 20th Century Studios. So we came home one morning from doing something, and
We're playing tennis.
we were playing tennis. Yeah. And on our front porch was a box, no shipping label. Someone hand-delivered a box to us, and inside of it was this awesome VHS
I got it right here.
and cover for Alien Romulus. Really, really cool little gift. And the cover of the VHS case is the poster, the new poster as well. It looks just like an operating VHS from the past. It's really excellent. It's a really cool gift. So
And in it is a featurette.
yeah,
a
so
clip.
inside of the VHS, it plays a video that confirms that the film will be at San Diego Comic-Con on July 26th.
Also, it was a reveal of the poster. And the poster looks sick. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited. And it was like such a nice surprise.
Yes. Also, Fandango has released an image of their face hugger popcorn bucket for Alien Romulus. There's just literally a face hugger.
No sexual innuendo on this one, guys.
Well, I mean, face huggers are sexual innuendos.
That's true, yeah. That's actually really accurate.
Yeah.
But I think it looks really badass.
Looks sick.
Looks sick. Looks very sick. All right, next up. Bad news for Kevin Costner. Horizon has made it to $25 million at the box office, but it's out of the top 5. And because of the poor return, Horizon 2 has been delayed. Remember, they were planning to release it August. Oh, so it's already been made. I mean, they were planning to release it like a month after this film's release. They're actually going to delay it to next year and let the first film gain more traction on VOD in rentals. So they want to build an audience back. So I think they were obviously all disappointed and surprised at the lack of interest in the film. But again, it's a 3-hour Western. You're asking for
Over 3 hours.
Over 3 hour Western. You're asking for a lot of people. So I think that obviously, and from what I can tell, the story's good, but it's just too big for one film. So this makes sense to like try and get new interest and then release the second film. They're not going to not release it. They made it.
Yeah.
So it'll come out. The second film will come out eventually.
I want to check it out, and if I can't see it in theaters, I'll watch it at VOD because I love westerns, and it looks really phenomenal. It looks great. The filmmaking. I mean, Kevin Costner's Best Picture winner, Oscar director. So I mean, it's gonna be great, I'm sure. But that's the same thing I heard. I'm sure I heard the scope's massive, and the filmmaking's great, but it's just long.
Yeah,
long and kind of slow at times.
I think
it looks beautiful.
Yeah, I think I'll either if I can't see it in theaters, I'll definitely rent it.
Some news about Euphoria. Season 3 will begin filming in January, and everybody is coming back, which is saying a lot because two of the leads from this show are two of the biggest actresses on the planet with Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney. So I think that's really great that they're coming back for Season 3.
How much are they getting paid?
Quite a bit, probably.
Oh, man. Warner Brothers is like,
probably.
Okay, we got to give them the money.
And Hunter Shaver, she's becoming a big star, too.
Yeah, don't forget about Elordi, too.
That's what I just said. Oh, Elordi.
Yeah, that's not what you just said.
Jacob Elordi?
Yeah.
He's in Euphoria?
Yeah, he's the male lead.
I've never seen the show, so I don't know. I did not know he was
Guys,
in Euphoria.
I've never seen the show, and I know that.
You've seen the show.
I've seen an episode.
Exactly.
Okay, but I knew he was in it before that.
I did not know. Did not.
Well, yeah, that's what blew him up big time.
Oh, I always wondered where he came from.
Well, he was in the Kissing Booth trilogy, and then he got Euphoria.
Copy.
So that's what TV blew him up. Yeah, Euphoria was huge for him. All right, let's get into some Spider-Man news. The Spider-Noir series, starring Nicolas Cage, has just confirmed Brendan Gleeson has joined the cast as the villain. Excellent choice for a villain. And also, Lamorne Morris from New Girl is also in the cast.
Making that money. That MCU money, guys. That's Sony money. That's Sony money.
Sony money.
Okay.
Jacob Elordi also started his career in Spider-Man.
He was Spider-Pig.
Yeah.
Not John Mulaney. Godzilla Minus One news, everybody. There's a black and white version of Godzilla Minus One releasing on Netflix on August 1st. And the stills look excellent. I'm pretty stoked to check this out.
Todd Haynes has a new film coming out.
You're copying my style of screaming the headline.
Todd Haynes! Yeah, it's because I've heard you do it so much now. It's just like ingrained in me.
So now you're copying me.
Joaquin Phoenix has already been confirmed in this film. And Todd Haynes just did Tar. He's a great director. Daniel Ramirez has just been cast alongside Joaquin Phoenix. This film is described as an NC-17 rated film and follows two men who are intense lovers and leave California for Mexico. I'm down for NC-17. Todd Haynes is awesome.
Todd Haynes, he didn't do Tar. Did he? I thought that was Todd something else.
Did I mix him up with someone else?
Yeah, because didn't Todd Haynes do
Little Children?
May, December?
Yes, he did. Sorry, yeah, this is Carol. My bad, I mixed him up.
Because I thought that guy was retiring.
Good call.
Todd Field.
I mixed up the Todds.
Yeah, because I remember I thought he was going to retire from directing after Tar.
I totally
Todd
mixed up those Todds. He did I Am Not There, Velvet Goldmine, Far From Heaven, Carol, May, December. And Todd Haynes did Little Children.
Yeah, Todd Haynes did all those movies you just said.
Yeah. Todd Fields did Little Children and Tar.
You're mixing all the
Todds, man.
You're mixing their filmographies together.
There's not many Todd directors, okay? There's just
Todd Phillips.
Moving on.
So
literally making the biggest movie this year.
So there's a remake in the works. And this is the remake that I'm putting my foot down.
Put it down.
Just
man.
No.
It's
It's a good Gosling no from Nice Guys.
Thanks.
No. There's a remake of A Fistful of Dollars in the works. Why?
I don't know.
Because money.
Because it's a name.
And this is the original film that launched the spaghetti western and launched Clint Eastwood's massive career. It sucks that they're going to make a remake of, obviously, the trilogy they'll do.
They better not go near Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
You know they're gonna. They're gonna, man. They're gonna do all three over again. This sucks.
No way.
I don't know. I can't remember what studio it was, but this is just stupid.
Shame on them.
Shame.
Shame.
Hold on, let me see what studio it is. A Fistful of Dollars remake studio.
Like, it's not going to be as good. I mean, Clint Eastwood is what makes the movies. And then Sergio Leone's direction. And what, are you going to make this movie without Ennio Morricone's score? Like, come on. Get out of here.
I'm not sure what studio it is.
Get out of here.
This just pisses me off, man.
Really grinds my gears. We don't need this.
It's just going to be terrible.
It's terrible. All right, speaking of remakes, the Watchmen TV series, the animated series, comes out on August 13th, and the voice cast has been revealed. Matthew Rhys is playing Night Owl, which is a great choice. Katie Sackhoff is Silk Spectre. Titus Welliver is Rorschach. Troy Baker is Ozymandias. Corey Burton as Captain Metropolis, and Michael Serverus as Dr. Manhattan.
I love how they got really experienced voice actors in there, too, versus just casting a bunch of famous people.
Yeah.
I mean, Troy Baker as Ozymandias, that's such a great casting. Yeah. Last of Us, Hive, Rise. That's really cool. I love it because, there's so many people who do voice acting or want to be voice actors that listen to our show, and they always get disappointed when it's just like a celebrity gets cast as every role in an animated movie.
Katie Sackhoff is also a big voice actor, too.
It's really awesome to get people who actually have experience and do voice acting.
Yeah. But Matthew Rhys is awesome. He's led the Americans. He's been in a bunch of movies. I think he's a good choice as Night Owl.
So every comedy sitcom these days is now getting a prequel of a young version of the lead. Obviously, Chris Rock got one about a decade ago. Then Young Sheldon was a recent one.
Dwayne Johnson got one.
Dwayne got one. Now we have one for Martin Lawrence. Because in case you're too young to remember, Martin Lawrence had a great sitcom back in the day just called Martin. It was hysterical. And now a prequel series called Young Martin, obviously Young Martin. It's Young Sheldon. It's the same fucking thing. Is in the works, and Martin Lawrence is set to executive produce. That's it. Everything's got a prequel.
Speaking of prequels,
when I want to see old Martin. I want to see old farty Martin.
Oh, they'll make that when he's old.
Yeah.
Speaking of remakes and sequels, The Devil Wears Prada is getting a sequel. Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and Anne Hathaway are all returning, as well as Stanley Tucci. We got a synopsis. Miranda's career goes into decline, which forces her to go face-to-face with Emily, played by Emily Blunt, now a major exec at a luxury group, whose advertising dollars Miranda desperately needs. Fun twist on their relationship, because Emily's character was like desperate for Miranda's approval. Meanwhile, Anne Hathaway and Stanley Tucci are in talks to return. Not sure what their story is going to be, but I'm sure fans will be very excited to see them all four of them back.
David Frankel in talks to return to direct.
I'm sure they'll have celebrity cameos galore of models in this one, like they did with Zoolander 2.
And, I mean, in the first Devil Wears Prada, Giselle's in that movie.
Oh, yeah, she is, yeah.
All right, let's talk about Batman Caped Crusader. The first clip has been released from this film. Comes out on Prime Video, August 1st. It looks great. Classic noir Batman, like we grew up loving.
Oh, yeah.
That's Spider-Man. Well, I mean, Sam Raimi's the next story.
Sam Raimi, that's probably why I said it. Sam Raimi has announced his first new horror film in 15 years since Drag Me to Hell. He's making his first horror film. It's called Send Help. And all we know is that it's set on an island. I'm down, man.
Yeah, I read that it's basically Misery meets Castaway.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Nobody does horror like Sam.
All right, what's this Jeffrey Rush story? So, Jeffrey Rush speaks out about the new Pirates film. Whoever takes over from here.
This is a quote.
This whole thing's a quote? Okay, this is a quote from Jeffrey Rush about the new Pirates film. Whoever takes over from Johnny, I don't know what's going to happen there. He's irreplaceable. Jack Sparrow is the new Robert Newton. Early on, we had a chat between Orlando Bloom and Johnny and myself, and he was already talking about pop stars like Keith Richards having that kind of visceral identity that you knew. He said, I'm just fascinated that his character, Jack, spends half his life on land and half of his life on water. Or if he never really gets to his sea legs. And that's where the whole war came from. Michael Chekhov, who was a Russian actor, wrote books in the defining moment of creating characters, and people studied that for decades. But I know people like Anthony Hopkins and Jack Nicholson always said, oh, well, we all read about Michael Chekhov. I went, that was Johnny's brilliant instinct. It's a whole picture. So basically saying that Johnny Depp's irreplaceable, and he's just one of the most iconic characters in cinema history at this point.
And we highly doubt there will be a Jack Sparrow, even if it's not Johnny, but there's no way they should put that character in the two new movies.
Moving on.
Emerald Fennell has announced her next film will be an adaptation of Wuthering Heights. This will be the 14th adaptation of the novel for the screen. If you don't know it, Wuthering Heights is about it's an Emily Bronte book, which follows Heathcliff, an orphan-turned foster son, who falls in love with the daughter of a family who owns the estate on which he now lives, Wuthering Heights. After running away, Heathcliff rises up to the ranks of the gentry and exacts revenge on the families, the Earnshaws and Lintons, who keep him from his true love. Very similarities to Saltburn, obviously.
All right, we got some Darren Aronofsky news. He's got a new film going into production soon called Caught Stealing. And Zoe Kravitz is in talks to join Austin Butler, who's already cast in this film. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed it is based on the book of the same name by Charlie Houston, who also wrote the script.
It's about a baseball player who gets caught in a criminal scheme.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Butler plays the baseball player.
Oh, that's right. We talked about this a couple months ago. He seems like a great fit for a baseball player.
It was a couple weeks ago, okay? It wasn't that
It was
long.
about a month ago.
It was. You said a couple months ago. Now you're saying about a month?
Maybe a month and a half.
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
Maybe move on to the next story.
Doug Liman and Tom Cruise apparently are still talking about doing an Edge of Tomorrow sequel. Doug Liman said they haven't shut down the idea for a sequel quite yet, and they said that they actually watched the film together 2 months ago.
I wish I was there.
Yeah, me
They're
too.
probably like, this movie's fucking awesome, guy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, fuck, we rocked the shit
Probably,
in this one.
We're pretty awesome. I can't believe it's been 10 years.
Me
Dun,
either.
dun, 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 dun. I can't wait to see this movie. If it gets made.
Yeah.
I hope to God. This is a movie that I pray for a sequel. Pray.
I mean, I love it. I don't need a sequel from it because I think it's perfect.
I need a sequel.
You need one?
I want another one.
I want it.
I want like,
I want
you know,
my
sometimes when you get a great looking pizza and you have a slice and you're still hungry, so what do? You're like, you really want another one, right?
Oh, another slice?
Because it was that good.
Yeah.
And you're like, I would love another slice.
Well, Edge of Tomorrow is not just a slice; it's the whole pie.
But I'm saying
It's like it's not just a slice.
okay. How
It's
about
a whole pie.
like an incredible ice cream sundae, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, this has everything in it, everything you want, and then you're like, I'm still hungry, and I want another ice cream sundae.
Or you just go back another day for it.
Exactly,
You want to
yeah.
go back.
You want
for
that
it.
again.
Yeah. You're not gonna eat
That's
another.
me.
You're not gonna eat a second ice cream sundae right
me.
after that one.
I need.
You would be like a week later. I want that ice cream sundae. Again.
No, I need that extra sundae. I want it
I don't need it, but I think it would be fucking sick. I think it would be dope.
injected into my veins.
I think it would be cool
today.
but I don't need it.
Anyways, there's a new film coming out. Well, going into production called Barbaric. It stars Sam Claflin and Patrick Stewart. It's an adaptation of the book called Barbaric, with Michael Bay in talks to direct, written by Sheldon Turner. It's described as Deadpool meets Game of Thrones for the way it mashes gonzo violence and humor. Sources say this is based off a graphic novel. Set in medieval fantasy world, the series chronicles the journey of Owen, who will be played by Claflin, a barbarian cursed to do the right thing, and his talking and horny acts, yes, horny acts, voiced by Patrick Stewart, as they unite to take on a great evil.
That sounds pretty funny.
Sounds really fun.
It's gonna be a series, not a film.
That's why I said series.
You said film.
I said series adaptation.
Okay.
I read the line.
Mm-hmm.
Series adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Go back. When you edit this, make sure you go back. And when I said series, you're going to be like, you're going to delete it to make it sound like it didn't. I know it. He's going to erase it, everybody. There's a new film coming out called Barbaric.
There's a new film coming out called Barbaric. There's a new film coming out called Barbaric.
All right. Next up,
Now, Big Brother over here,
I'm watching you
erasing the factual information of the past.
changing the history. All right. The final Conjuring movie has announced its release date.
This ain't going to be the last one. Come on.
This is gonna be the last one with the couple, with Patrick Wilson
Vera.
and Vera Farmiga. New Line has set September 5th, 2025 as the release date for the fourth Conjuring movie. This is just going to be the end of like this part of the franchise, but they'll keep making spin-offs and stuff. They might even do like a Conjuring reboot down the line, but this will be the last film with these two leads in it. I like the last one.
They're pretty good movies.
I like the Devil Made Me Do It one. That was good.
We got some football news for Inside the NFL at the CW, which I didn't even know had a football show.
Me either.
Bill Belichick is joining Inside the NFL, which is awesome. He's going to be joining Ryan Clark, as well as Chris Long and Chad Johnson on the panel for Inside the NFL, which airs on the CW.
Bill got a job.
My man.
Bill got a job. He's like, I'm not coaching. I'm done.
Yeah, he's probably done.
He's probably going to really enjoy it. He loves talking football.
It's his
He
favorite
just
thing
loves
in the world.
talking shop. You don't have to answer any more reporter questions, press conferences, none of that.
I mean, he's accomplished everything you could accomplish as a coach in any sport.
Yeah. So I think he'll be really great, and I think he's obviously highly intelligent, and and such an expert of football. So I think everybody's going to be tuning in to see him out of curiosity.
He's a lot more charismatic than people think because obviously we grew up watching his press conferences, but we saw a lot of interviews with him. He's a charming, funny guy. And
He just hates press conferences.
Yeah, he hates reporters. That's
He
it.
hates reporters.
So he comes off as grumpy all the time.
Yeah.
But that's not really he's really actually a cool guy.
He's a cool dude.
He likes Halloween a lot.
He was in the roast of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's pretty chill sometimes.
Yeah. That was pretty nuts.
All right, there's a new Muhammad Ali series that's been confirmed and greenlit at Amazon Prime from producer Michael B. Jordan. Amazon stepping into the ring with the estate of an authorized scripted series of Muhammad Ali's entire life story. This is probably going to be a huge, expansive series of several seasons. Michael B. Jordan is producing the film and the series. Ben Watkins is going to be the showrunner, and Jolene Best will be playing Muhammad Ali in the series. It's called The Greatest.
Pretty good casting. It looks quite like him.
Yeah. I'm down for
quite like
this.
him.
I'm down for this, especially with Michael B. Jordan involved as really the producer, and I think people would be really excited by it. He's a fascinating man. It's an incredible life he lived, and so it would be cool to see the whole thing on the screen.
Yes. One of the most interesting people of the 20th century.
You got
for
big
sure.
shoes to fill in terms of performance, though. It's a hard role to act.
Yeah. I mean, Will did a good job back in 2002 when he did Ali.
Yeah.
But it's tough performance because he was larger than life. All right, Joe Rogan, we have some comedy news, will perform his first live special on Netflix. His first comedy special, I believe, in 6 or 8 years. But it's going to be live on Netflix. They did this.
Oh, live, yeah.
Yeah, I did this.
Chris Rock?
6 months ago. Yeah, Chris Rock did a live one
Yeah.
too. Well, I like the style of having a big comedian do a live show on Netflix. It's really interesting and really cool. It's August 3rd, 10 p.m. It's called Burn the Boats.
Burn the Boats. 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I like the live events on Netflix that they do sometimes. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Jake Gyllenhaal's Apple TV show, Presumed Innocent, was just renewed for a second season. It's a hit for the giant company, Apple TV, Apple. And
Mom watches it. She
yeah,
loved it.
mom said it's great.
She loved it.
Yeah, they'll be making another one. It's about a lawyer or something.
A lawyer whose son
Presumed innocent.
is on trial for murder.
Ooh.
And so he's trying to defend his son.
Oh, he's defending his son. Oh, that sounds cool. Sounds cool.
Really great.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great book. All right, so we have two somber newses. We have two passing aways. First of all, John Landau, James Cameron's right-hand man on Titanic and the Avatar films as well as others, passed away at the age of 63. Oscar-winning producer who, was pivotal in James Cameron's filmography. And, you've seen many of his movies many times.
Yeah, I mean, he produced some of the biggest movies ever, and what looked like obviously one of the most difficult productions in history with
Impossible movies as
Yeah.
well,
And I mean, producers fly under the radar in terms of what they're actually doing for a film, but they're instrumental to the film even working.
And then Shelley Duvall passed away at the age of 75, an icon in acting from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Obviously, The Shining is her biggest performance as Wendy.
And a ton of Robert Altman films. She's
Yeah.
great in.
So,
Yeah.
two big passings this past week. And that wraps up our movie news. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode on Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple. Become a patron today at patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast. And join the Trova Trip surveys to come on vacation with us. Take care, everybody.
See you next time.
There's a new film coming out called Barbaric. There's a new film coming out called Barbaric. There's a new film coming out called Barbaric.
Thank you for watching Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, notifications for sure. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you can listen to podcasts, and be sure to check out this other content we have on our YouTube channel.